Inkinga yami enkulu ukuphila ngamaphupho angafezeki. Angeke ngize ngifane nabo. Angibazondi mina, bazonda amaphupho abo engibakhumbuza wona.
Coming on to you, Thesha. Thesha is, I think every one of these stories are authentically African, but yours goes and takes place in Agas. You know, you're really telling your authentic story, and the Thesha, everyone knows Thesha's spun, you know, go work type of thing, right? So, but before I even explain it, what is the Thesha? What is the story actually that you're trying to tell?
Okay, cool. So Thesha is basically what you say, go work. So unlike I've never been employed, you know what I mean? Like, but that's largely due to me and the type of person that I am, and you know what I mean? Like, it's nobody's fault. You know, because honestly, I'm more fascinated with being independent. I'm more fascinated with being an outlier. My whole life has always been about that. I enjoy being different. I enjoy just being on my own lane, if I have to say it like that. So what happened was in 2008, I made my first feature. At that time, people were still just making commissioned content. And me and my friends, we came together and we made Escape. Escape was dope, you know what I mean? It blew up online, but went to cinema, flop, you get what I mean? So the flop really hit me hard, right? It killed my confidence, and I was like at home for like 4 years, just wallowing in misery. But on my 5th year, I inherited a camera, right? Inheriting a camera, I'm sitting at home with my close friend. He's like, I've known him my whole life, so we grew up together. So I'm sitting at his house we're busy training our dogs, and I'm like, fuck it, maybe we should be doing something. But yeah, like that's how Thesha started up, right? So lucky for us, we live in a community where 90% of the youth are unemployed. You know what I mean? You walk around the street, you think it's town. That's how many people are just hanging out and chilling, right? So getting people was the easiest part for us. That was never a problem. Instead, we had to turn back people because some of them were just horrible. You know, we couldn't help them. But people came. People are always coming at our house. Even now, people are like, yo, when's season 2, whatever. So getting people was easy, but the location, that's when we needed to now form up the production house. And this brother took it upon himself to be production manager, and he got us a full high school. I don't know if you guys have seen Thesha. We've got a high school with kids. We've got a jail cell, like actual jail, you know what I mean? We didn't have to send. So yeah, so Thesha is like really, it has made us work. Yeah, it has been Thesha basically. Yeah.
So the story behind the Thesha obviously is it's largely around the music industry, right? And or at least in my understanding, the individual, especially this guy, the main character, trying to break through into the music industry, but then there's a lot of barriers that come behind that, which is, I assume, the story behind, you know, what is it like to break through just to get to Span, you know, in this high environment of South Africa that has a large amount of unemployment. And so for yourself, you've traveled because of this, right? You're actually wearing a Vancouver t-shirt right now. So, I mean, this guy's gone to Vancouver, Canada, he's been all over, right?
First time being
out of the country, and that's because of something that you created, you know. So I think my question to you more than anything else is, what do you think that is that makes the international market so interested in what you have to tell?
Okay, cool. The music slaps hard. Yeah, no, really, because you know what I mean. It's like the moment you hear that beat, already, like, you know what I mean? Like, it captures you. So the music has been our biggest export in Thesha, right? Then outside the music, it has been just people being able to see Ilorish, see the hood, see everyday people, you know what I mean? Like see our struggles as, because we all, what I like to say is like, we all have similar struggles, especially black people. Like the black experience is universal. Like I don't think, like people in America and black people in America, Paris, Vancouver, South Africa, we all have the same issues, which are, we're struggling to get employed, we are always in the margins. You know what I mean? Like we don't really dictate our future. Our future is always dictated by someone across the desk, whether they like you, whether, you know what I'm saying? Like we do not have active control of where our destiny go, most of us, right? So, yeah.
Okay, then my question to you is, I think on average you would say to a person, yo, I'm shooting a film, you know? It's going to be a film that's going to go show SAPC1, Mzansi, whatever the case may be. And you'd have people come through and, yeah, I want to act it. Now, for this is a web series, you know, so you're telling people that this is going to be housed on the internet, you know? Yeah. And we know South Africa, we're still facing issues of data must fall, hashtag, all right? How did you convince people to be like, no, this is going to be chilling on the internet, but it's still a viable option, you know, considering you're probably not going to be paying people, considering you're going guerrilla style, like everyone has mentioned. You know, how did you yourself, I know you said that it was easy because people are intrigued, but did you just have to say, hey, we're shooting, come through, people come through? Did you let them know that it's a web series? Do people know what is a web series? You know, how did you go around that avenue in trying to sell this?
Okay, so the big thing was food for us, right? People are sitting in the hood, we're smoking, we're always hungry. So those guys are shooting the film and there's like free food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's an unfortunate, it's funny now, but you know what I mean? It's the truth, you know what I'm saying? So for us, the most important thing was to make sure that we fed people. People did not expect much from us, you know what I mean? Like, there was no big trucks, there was no big check, there was nothing. People did not expect much from us. They just believed in what we were doing and who we were in our own community. So that's how we got support. Yeah, but the food, give people the food, man.
So then when you started Thesha, did you have dreams or did you know, hey, I'm going to take this thing and I want to go there. I want to take this thing and I want to, because I mean, you just mentioned, Uti, you had your first, you had your first show and then it didn't succeed in the cinema, right? Which already shows Uti these differences, man, in broadcast kind of sense, right? And there's a complete different audience when you come into online. So for you now, how did you marry the two and how are you trying to marry the two? Are you looking to just stay on web series? Are you looking to now say, okay, let me take this and now move it into broadcast, into cinemas again? Because you mentioned that you spent 4 years, man, in a dark place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a creative, I think a lot of people, you know that if you can spend yourself in a very dark place, you don't get where you want to get to. So how are you now marrying that two for yourself?
Okay, no, it's good. Let me tell you this, man. I don't think you need to marry the two. I think web series are like their own thing, and I believe in the next 10 years, we'll be talking a whole different game. You know what I mean? Personally, I only shoot TV stuff for rent, but as a filmmaker, I do not make films looking at Stack and Nico. I don't make films looking at SABC. I make films looking at web. I make series is looking at web. So what was funny is when I was in Germany, some guy he's like a distributor of web series. So he was telling a story about TV and how the first 10 years of TV was like no money. They were like exactly where we are as content creators. It was non-viable. The only thing that was viable was still like movie houses and stuff, right? So we are also in that phase where we're going through our 10 years of just setting up people getting, look at Israel, for instance, right? YouTube is only what? It's not even 15 years? You got it? So yeah, like personally, before that, I also made Thesha thinking, yeah, I want to get it, but after making it and discovering this whole world, because we did not know that there was a whole world behind Webseries, those festivals, there were online platforms that actually just dealt with Webseries. It's people who would give you money as well to be like, yeah, with licensing, here's like 500 US, here's like 1,000 US, you know what I mean? So we did not know that when we were making it, but after making it, that's when everything opened up, right? And through our travels, that's when we realized that actually it's nice being ahead of the curve, you know what I mean? That's why it's slowly being number one.
Yeah.
You see, like, look at the numbers here. The truth is, this is the curve for tomorrow. The people who are here, the content creators, those are the people who will be determining the big budgets. You look at our Casey Neistat, I don't know if you know him, like he had a whole ad, say Oscars, from next year, sometimes bringing in web series. You know what I mean? So the world is about to blow up. So I'm staying right here.
Thesha matala. Hayi wena khululeka ngisungumuntu wenza ama-vlog mpintshana. Njengoba sikhuluma nje lento nje isendleleni yasemzini.
Kulo.
Ya. Yini? Sister. Nah, kusinto icabanga sister. Ngiyadinga lento for isikolo.
Saba amakhadi.
Amakhadi.
Ngoku. Kundo. Nalawa. Get ready for school. We're late.
You just mentioned a couple of things. You just spoke about budget. Now you and micro budget, man, you're like friends. Now you know how to make something from nothing, you know, or from very little, let me put it there, right? Bro, what's your magic? How do you do that? Like, how do you get, because everyone I think has this belief that you should have a big budget, you know, if you want to shoot the best thing in the world. But I mean, I look at the grading and of your web series and each one, and it's grungy, but it tells the story of what you're trying to tell. How do you do that, man? What's your magic?
Okay, I married my editor. So I cut expenses there. So obviously, you know that came with an edit suit, that came with years of experience. So. But in terms of, yeah, I've been doing a lot of micro budgets my whole life. We actually, we did a film called The Adventures of Pamoza in 2008, which then went on to inspire Whole and Todeno. Ukachis actually worked on it as well, right? So that actually went on to inspire Ukachis, so get them to do their own things, whatever. So micro budgets has always been my forte. So where we win basically is communication, you know. You know what I mean? So that's what we do, you know. We talk to people, it's a long process. I don't wake up today and say I'm gonna make a web series. It takes me like 6 months to go through the series, you know. So the hard part about that is excitement dies, you know. Anxiety kicks in, doubt kicks in. So you have to fight those challenges for 6 months just till you get to set. But once you get to set, it's...
So let's fast forward and so you talk about the 6-month pre-production. Now you go through the process, you shot this thing, you're in production, everything is cool, and now distribution starts. You know, now you need to get this thing out there, okay? You go onto the internet, YouTube is there, and some people love it, you know, and then the virality and the organic, you know, conversation starts talking.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about licensing
Yeah.
just now, right? Which I think you have a bit of experience in. So now, how do you get there? How do you get into a room where you start negotiating licensing deals where you're like, yo, okay, I want to give you, some of this, but this is how much I want in return. This is how do you start that conversation, and where does that go?
Okay, cool. So the reason I mentioned Escape to begin with was, so in my dark years, right, a friend of mine who's like a documentary filmmaker is always traveling, hitting on festivals. So he met this guy who had started a channel called realafrican.com, which was affiliated with Hulu. So they were looking for African content. So we gave him Escape, we gave him Ipamos and a couple of other films, and I started making money, right? I started getting like $500. I was like, oh shit, this is dope. So that's one thing that motivated me and gave me that idea, which I should go into the web, because Escape, I made it in 2010, and in 2016 I was still getting like money for it, you know what I mean? I stopped getting money for Escape, I think, in 2018, beginning of that, you know what I mean? So that money was always came in right on time, you know what I mean? Quarterly, right on time. It's like 500 US, 600 next time, you know what I mean? It fluctuates, but it was money that I needed when it came in. Then with the web series, what then happened is once we started hitting the festival circuit, that's when we started meeting people like Joel, people like Young Ma. Young Ma is from Asia, is from South Korea. So Asia is crazy. Asia is crazy, like, yo, Asia. There's a reason why the sun rises in Asia, you know what I mean? Like, they are literally ahead of us when it comes to the content game. Like, Asia was the first place where someone was like, I'll give you money straight up for your thing, like minimum guarantee, before we even talk about residuals, what do they call that thing? Revenue split, you know what I mean? Before we even talk about that, they were willing to just sign a check, you know what I mean? So the game in Asia is mad. It's mad, yeah.
Then my last question, because we have to wrap up as well here, is what advice would you give to anyone, especially when it comes to the financial game, when it comes to film or licensing or monetizing your craft? What would you advise people that you may have learned, over the period of your time, not to do? Now how do you not get yourself in trouble? Or what would you advise to anyone who's going to now try to monetize your craft in essence?
Hey man, I'm failing, eh? I fail every day when it comes to that. I was telling you that actually earlier on that, yo, I'm my biggest problem, you know what I mean? Like, I'm my biggest hurdle most of the time. So my biggest problem with monetizing and making other moves and getting to where I need to get is, chances are most of the time I don't reply to emails as soon as I need to. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm bad with maintaining relationships, yeah, I know, right? But what I can tell you is what really matters outside all those problems is your shit needs to bang. Yeah. It needs to slap hard, you know what I mean? Like, your shit needs to invest in good locations. You were talking about locations earlier on. Yeah, so you're talking about locations earlier on. For Thesha, a couple of times we reshot scenes because the location was not on par with the scene, right? So we shoot, go back, watch the footage, and we're like, oh wow, this is actually nice, but this location is whack, right? Because we're thinking monetary, and we always wanted to be safe. But the moment we started seeing that, that's when we're like, no, let's go close down a freeway and shoot in that nice tunnel. You know what I mean? Like, we started challenging ourselves for once we saw that, but yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, man.